So we learned that plant roots only see maybe 1 to 3% of the soil volume. And we learned that when plants see phosphorus in the soil solution, they see phosphorus in the soil solution because of diffusion reactions. And diffusion reactions only occur over maybe 1 to 2 centimeters within a growing season. So the plant, or most plants, are at a severe disadvantage for seeing phosphorus in the environment. So how do they see more phosphorus, potentially other nutrients like potassium, for example, more so in the soil? Well, plants have adapted to this, and they have created a symbiotic relationship between arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi and them themselves. This is a symbiotic association between the fungus and the root. And what you see in the picture here, the white portions within this picture are the fungal hyphae that are attached to the root itself, either on the outside of the root, on the inside of the root, or both in and out of the root. Okay, regardless of how this association is created, this is what occurs. The root provides food to the microorganism, the arbuscular mycorrhizae, in the form of carbon or carbohydrates. So this is the energy source for the fungi. In return, the fungus increases root exploration for nutrient uptake. In this case, phosphorus for this unit, but other nutrients as well. And doesn't say this here, but it also increases the amount of water that can be taken up by the plant itself as well. The fungi are a conduit for water as well back to the plant. So it's interesting to note this picture. You've seen this picture once at the beginning of this unit, in the very first video for Unit 6. And this number isn't exactly correct, but between 80 and maybe 90% of plants on the face of the planet have an AM fungal association, arbuscular mycorrhizal association. However, sugar beets do not. And so sometimes they need a little extra help in seeing phosphorus via phosphorus fertilizer additions. In fact, sometimes what you see is, depending on the crop rotation, and I've worked with sugar beets in my past, and the rotation is oftentimes like a corn sugar beet rotation. You follow, or actually sugar beet corn. Either way, the rotation is that's part of a rotation, or that's a rotation. And oftentimes what you see is corn following sugar beets is a challenge for corn early in the season. This is what happens with sugar beets. Sugar beets is one of those crops that doesn't need the AM fungal association to survive. So the AM fungi in the soil, they don't die, but they go dormant, and they just sort of hide themselves during sugar beet growth. Then if you follow sugar beets with corn, it takes a little while for those AM fungi to realize that there is a plant present that needs its help. So sometimes early in a corn's growing season, especially following sugar beets, you oftentimes see and observe a phosphorus fertilizer deficiency. The plants typically grow out of it, but if you're not familiar with this occurring and knowing that sugar beets don't need AM fungal associations, you could actually end up adding a phosphorus fertilizer to a corn crop that really doesn't need it. And now you've just wasted money. That's just a little FYI for you based on this picture.